What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the quartering. It looks like Joe Rogan has stepped in it again, at least, well, according to Twitter, as it's been raging about him all weekend long after probably one of his most patriotic outbursts in a long time. Look, here's the thing with Joe Rogan. He has made many mistakes in his transition to Spotify, but I will admit that I was fairly certain that he would have bent the knee by now and that he would, be playing it safe, following the, commonly accepted narrative about things. But he really hasn't. He's actually been pretty much the same dude. The whole lying about what he was going to do with, his old episodes that moved to Spotify, I think that was a really bad moment for him. But outside of there, he's been pretty spicy. And over the weekend, a little bit of a pro-freedom rant gets Twitter losing their minds. Before I get into this, huge shout out to this video sponsor. Huge shout out to this video sponsor. It's your boy, Raid Shadow Legends. I bet you didn't know that people have played Raid for over 12.5 billion hours so far. That's almost 1.5 million years, and that's a true testament to the numerous things that you can do in this game, whether you're playing on your desktop device, your Android, or your iPhone device. There's always something to do in Raid, which is part of what I love about the gameplay. Depending on how much time I have available, I can interact with the game in a wide variety of ways. Sometimes I just want to log in and review the champions available and pick new favorites. And of course, sometimes I just love hopping into a quick PvP battle. This month, Raid just released a ton of amazing new content, new clan features and improvements. There are brand new quests for you and your clan members to work on together, new benefits for every clan member just for being in a clan, and even a brand new clan shop that gives you access to some incredibly powerful items. This month's raids also got new champions to collect from fragments in the Doom Tower and loads of events and competitions to take part in. Raid is already a worldwide phenomenon and a longtime supporter of this channel, so if you haven't checked out Raid yet, make sure you use the link in the description or the pinned comment below to support the channel and check out an awesome game that continues to give back to their community. If you want to get a huge head start in Raid, all you have to do is hit the link in the description or scan the QR code right here. New players will get an epic hero Chronoru, 200,000 silver, 1 XP boost, 1 energy refill, and an ancient shard so you can summon an awesome champion as soon as you get into the game. Of course, you'll find extra rewards in your inbox here for the first 30 days. And once you're in, you can find me under the name Colt's Dad, and if you're fast, you can join my clan. It's that easy. Just click the link in the description, and I'll see you in the game. Hey, pick up the game. Super important sponsor. Free to play. Give it a try. I bet you'll like it. I still play it almost every day, whether it's on my PC or on my Android. It's a lot of fun. So, Joe Rogan goes on most patriotic pro-freedom rant you'll ever hear, and he takes jabs at CNN and Joe Biden. This is the setup. Joe Rogan already has the ire of the left. His podcast allows him the freedom to express too many opinions. People want deplatform. This rant about freedom and dictatorships and his concern about the direction our country is going in is going to cause Joe Biden to have his soiled... well, I won't go to that. The White House is going to declare Rogan a 13th person spreading all the misinformation. Brian Seltzer is going to cry in his breakfast cheesecake over Rogan having a bigger audience than anyone at CNN. Seriously, roll up Joe's rant, twist off both edges, and light it up. Quote, people are dumb. They don't understand history. They don't understand human beings. They don't understand human nature. They don't understand the history of every single country that's ever existed other than the United States up until 1776. Every effing country that has ever existed was run by dictators. All of them. America is the first one where you had elected officials. This is the first experiment in self-government that actually worked. It created the greatest superpower the world's ever known. It's created the greatest cultural machine of art and creativity and innovation right effing here. And how did it do that? It did it through freedom, because when you give people freedom, you let them do whatever the F they want, and they find ways to succeed and grow. Joe continued. But as soon as you put the boots to them, as soon as you tell them you have to this or you can't do that, now you have a mini dictator. You have one that one step closer to a king. You're moving one step closer to dictatorship. That's what the F is happening. Joe Biden, I think he's talking to you. Seriously, this isn't malarkey. Our president believes Americans yield their rights to him. This week alone, Joe Biden told Americans to shove their right to own property up their keister while admitting he doesn't give a rip about the Constitution. He continued his crusade against the Second Amendment, reminding Americans that he wants to eliminate most pew-pews. Also, his administration wants to tax Americans per mile they drive their car, and was hoping you wouldn't even notice. The new tactic is to claim that everything is a private health crisis. It's Biden's excuse for breaking the law with his eviction moratorium, which, by the way, is absurd. It will be his excuse to go after, your pew-pews, tax the middle class, and do anything he wants. Now, obviously, this is a lot with Crowder.com, so they have their bias, but that's neither here nor there. Daily Caller, also a right-leaning website. Joe Rogan says these passports will take America one step closer to having a dictator. I 100% agree. And look, I've said this before, and I will say it again every single time I talk about this. I am not your doctor. I don't want you to listen to me about, healthcare decisions. I don't want you to listen to any YouTuber about healthcare stuff. I don't care if you got it. I don't care if you didn't get it. It's none of my business. I am looking forward again to the days where I don't hear weirdos talking about out loud which brand they got and what would their side of. I don't want to know this. I don't care. You do what you feel is best for you. I also don't understand why celebrities and people like Philip DeFranco think that they're in a moral position to lord over you about what you do with your body, while they're also going to attend huge super spreader events like the president's birthday party. But that's neither here nor there, ex-president. During the Friday podcast, Rogan and his guest, Evan Haffer, discussed the passports and freedom of the former, launched into a rant that would be required viewing for everyone. You see, I've said it many times on my show. I have the poke. I believe that they work, and I think people who want it should get it. However, this country's on the verge of insanity when you might be required to carry medical papers everywhere to buy a burger with your friends. Clearly, Rogan feels the exact same way. He's not happy at all with the idea. For people who think he's just being dramatic, New York City will require proof of poke for a lot of indoor events. So this definitely isn't Rogan wearing a tinfoil hat. The dude is reacting to very real news, and he's fired up. You know who else is fired up about this and feeling? Millions of Americans. You see, Dave Hookstead saying, while the NFL is busy treating unpoked players like prisoners, the UFC won't force their fighters to get it or place restrictions on them. Yeah, I think that's good. And you have Daily Mail. U.S. comedian Joe Rogan slams Australians' crazy lockdowns and is baffled we're using soldiers and police choppers to keep people inside when there's no evidence that it spreads outside. Well, I think that I have a lot of, heck, I do a podcast with Bering. He lives in Australia. I have lots of viewers who are in Australia. Everyone's seen the videos. You have like police officers rounding up elderly people just going out for a walk. And by the way, their numbers there are like hilariously low. Like there was, they get like 2 deaths in a week and they put the whole country on lockdown. This is what happens when you let your government take away your right to defend yourself. But that's neither here nor there. American podcaster Joe Rogan has branded Australians' lockdown as crazy stuff and mocked the use of police helicopters and military to enforce restrictions. Well, yeah. That's crazy stuff going on right now with the army trying to keep people inside, Rogan said. Yeah. One of the things that I read is that they're doing this. Only 9 people have lost their lives. And one of them was in her 90s. I agree. It seems insane to me. Australian Defence Force personnel have at various times during the lockdown been called into some states to help police enforce lockdowns. By the way, shame on these people for doing it. I don't understand. If you want to deploy get deployed against your own people to remove their freedoms? Why are people even agreeing to this? It's absolute insanity. But if you look at Twitter's reaction to it, they are extremely unhappy. A lot of these people on Twitter pro lockdown. You know what I mean? Like, you see Joe Rogan is all of us. You have Joe Rogan is getting this completely wrong, says scientist. He's taking very careful work about evolutionary scenarios of the future. We're getting close to dictatorship in America. I don't disagree. You have Shannon Sharp, Joe Rogan. How you feeling, Shannon? Me, ready to bust Skip up. That actually isn't Joe Rogan. It's, Shannon Sharp hilariously, has very bad meme technology. But, I don't tell a lot of people this, but Joe Rogan and I went to medical school together. Joe Rogan responds to woke mob trying to cancel him with some very honest thoughts. You can see Joe Rogan claims he says dumb stuff, suggests people shouldn't take him too seriously. Well, he wants people to relax with the outrage. According to Milwaukee Journal